I'm that girl who knows people love rumors, regardless of whether they're true or not. They hold on to them, and they actually will fight people um, to holding on to their truth, right? So let's think about that story that we get told many times in sessions where they're trying to use the analogy of the emperor's clothing. So, if you're not familiar with it, the king is saying he has got new garments and he's been sold new garments that are super fantastic, right? And he's just living his best king life on the street in front of everybody. Now, we all have heard about these new garments. We've all been sold that this is what you're going to see. This is what you're going to be exclusively allowed and privileged to see, the garments. So exciting, right? We all want to be trendy, allegedly. And anyway, so we all get to the street to check out the king's new garments, and we see with our own eyes that he's naked, and that this was a trick on the king. And, all embarrassing because we can see his winky and all that sort of stuff, right? So we're all coming together to be like, wow, king, that's a bold choice. Love it. And we're all standing there and knowing with our own eyes in our own realities that there is nothing on that man. But it seems like because we've all been prepped to see something and to be a part of this fashion feast, that we will go along with it, right? So it's kind of like the rumor of the clothes. And I think I haven't even read that story recently, I have to say, to know the outcome. Did someone call it out? Did someone say, look, with my eyes, I'm seeing you naked? And that would be kind of embarrassing, right? Because we don't want to talk about our naked bodies, let alone calling out the king, let alone calling out an event that we've all come here to notice this is bullshit. And it's a brave person that will speak their truth, right? When we're all supposed to be socially polite to go with the rumor, to go with the nonsense, because no one wants to step up and speak up and say, look, I can see his butt crack, it's offending me, I'm out. We'd just be like, on fashion point, this is amazing, you strut your stuff, do the Dougie, do whatever you want, right? So it gets awkward, especially when it's those big influencers saying and selling us nonsense. And it seems interesting because from my experience of watching people parrot the rumors and the disinformation that has been given by influencers about certain topics, they will fight. They will have big conversations and big fighting about the rumor, about that truth of what they were trying to be sold. And of course, with the analogy of the king, he's trying to influence, to keep control, to save face, to make sure everyone following him agreed with what he was saying and believed in what he was saying, and fight to protect his honor and what he was saying, even though he's naked. So it seems like what I've been watching people online do is grab disinformation, rumors from certain people, and then owning it as if it's their own truth. Now, I can say that my truth is from what I've heard from sessions, right? I'm lazy. I don't want to think for myself because I don't, I know my Mr. Stupid will go into lazy assumptions, right? And I still am very human, right? Like the conversation I had yesterday about respecting all, loving all, because we don't know the traumas and the challenges that they've had in other lifetimes, blah, 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 really reminded me that we truly, without any excuses, without any resistance, without any limitations, love everyone, right? While keeping yourself safe, love yourself and all that sort of stuff. It's a huge one. And then I went into that rant about this man talking about the rumor of water being poisoned. So let's address that, right? Because people are like, oh, she's just so ignorant, isn't she? She just doesn't know the fate of the world. Yeah, actually, I do. I really do know the fate of the world, because I hear it in sessions all day long, because I do sessions all day long. So, well, I guess it's an exaggeration because I still eat and ignore my washing. But, when I am doing the sessions, I'm listening to the subconscious being channeled through my clients, and the subconsciouses are getting quite upset, because when we're distracting ourselves and clapping at the king with all his nakedness, not wanting to step up, not wanting to support the truth, to come together to speak the truth, it gets awkward. Anyway, so it was Dolores Cannon that came in through a channeling at the end of 2019 to say that, everything here is poisonous to us, right? And I just couldn't believe it. Dolores, what are you talking about now? This makes me feel scared, actually. And I know you say don't go into fear. So how am I supposed to keep my shit together while you've just given me this big truth bomb? And, she reminds us, as I'm reminding us all, including myself, that if you're going to believe the rumors that everything's going to kill you, regardless of whether that truth is not, whether it's a rumor or a truth, right? We know that we don't get out of this 3D planet in our 3D meat suits as it is, right? We know people are dying. We know people are having exit points. We know that this is a life cycle that is just evolving into another life, right? We get all of that. And we understand that this is not the most healthiest planet for us. 100%. We see that intuitively, energetically, and socially, with people struggling to be human, whether they can't quite manage to step up to be, team players and loving each other, or whether they just so beyond tolerant now at what some could say is moronic humans, but that sounds judgmental. So anyway, we know that it's hard to step up into love all. And so what I'm trying to say is, I have heard rumors about the water. 100%. I've heard it. Went on my own, anti-fluoride rant. I don't know what year it was, quite some years ago, because it just sounded like it was some sort of poison for my system. And I didn't really want to have poison for my system. So I empowered myself to, get some filters in our home. Now, does getting a water filter protect my body more than my body can protect itself? And if I constantly am thinking, this is poison, this is poison, this is poison, yeah, got poisoned again today. How? God, I love the dramatics this morning. How is that helping our bodies? Right? We have to have trust and faith that our bodies know the environment, know the situation, know other people's free will and choices, and that while the rumor may be true about some waters not being very good, we have so many clients have got connections to the whale communities and collectives in general, and you want to have a tearjerker, channel in the whale collective independently and individually, talking to one of those souls who are here now with their children. Yeah, that shit's very real and very traumatizing for a human who thinks that there's no problems in the world, right? People will just we'll just fix it, we'll just heal it, we'll just do some sort of ceremony, I'll burn some sage and everything will be perfect, right? That's all cute and all, and we would love for that to be impactful. But while you're still celebrating the emperor's clothes, when you look at all of the souls that are here, they're happy to jump into a session, to talk to you, to channel you, to let you feel the energy, to hear their truth. Remembering things like Fukushima. Oh God, I can't even say it either. So over 12 years ago now, definitely over a decade ago, there was a big earthquake in Japan that cracked open lots of containers and vessels of nuclear waste, which was just in storage because you don't know what to do with it, right? They don't know what to do with it. So, fantastic news. It's been seeping into the Pacific Ocean for, over a decade. And they know that this is poisoning, it's going all out. We know fishermen who have got very, very sick because they're eating just a diet of primarily those fish that have been, absorbed in that. And I don't know if you've been listening to the sessions that I've been sharing with all of my worries and concerns about these gossip rumors and all this information. And, when we do hear the collective say, oh, yeah, that water, that's a problem. That has definitely been a problem, and it's been a problem for a long time. But we're not hearing about it in the news, are we? Like, that's a big thing, right? Like, that's a big deal. Nuclear wastage seeping into the water for over a decade now. Like, that's a big deal. Those cute people complaining about straws, a bigger deal, apparently, right? Single serving bags, a big deal. We want to really focus on the stuff that really counts to humans versus, the whole waterway oceans. Not getting triggered. I'm not triggering myself today. Anyway, but I know this, and I've heard about it in sessions, right? And I also know that I got really shitty with the subconscious, and I was like, well, if that was true, if they really is oceans being polluted with nuclear crap, sludge, and toxic stuff, we're either going to get superhero fish or we're going to get sick. Again, I'm adding in the dramatics because I'm just feeling like this today, so bear with me. It could be an interesting one. And they just said, yeah, well, we know the state of the world. We know what's coming. We are not putting energy to resuscitate the stuff that, would take up too much of our energy and effort. Apparently humans are really like, taking up a lot of the effort. We are just, we are unruly. And we're a little bit distracted. And so our collectives are focusing on us, the dizzy, wayward kids that are not wanting to empower ourselves to empower others, because it seems like people who know about starseeds and know about collectives are like, oh, what have they done for us recently? Nothing. They're never here for us. They never come down. They never kill the presidents, blah, 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 right? Like, so they get really, really pissed off. And our collectives are saying, well, we can't come to 3D. That's a physical difference that we can't, while they lower their tolerance and their energy to be channeled, they don't physically come here, right? So that would be probably maybe a fifth dimensional being, if that, probably a fourth dimensional being actually, maybe could breach through some higher frequency beings to get a sense through their mind's eye that they're here energetically, right? But they don't physically see them with their physical eyes. It's about a sense that comes in, but it sort of merges in. So we know the ghost realm, shall we say, the fourth dimension, is not a physical, we can't visually see it, but when people do see the ghosts, you could have like 100 people in the room and only maybe one person could see it, because it's in the seeing the energy of their mind's eye, which is like that's having an overlay. So they're seeing into the extra dimension, which is, amazing, but I think would also be quite terrifying and very confusing for those people who think that they've been possessed, blah, 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 blah. I'm trying to get onto topic. So drinking the water. I know I've loved this water. I know I have given it appreciation and gratitude for everything it's going to do for me and everything it's ever going to do in its lifetime of being together here for us. Right? Big difference in my energy when I'm having gratitude, loving it, trusting it's going to replenish my cells, uplift me, and do all its fantastic stuff. And not only do I have big demands and expectations of it, I'm actually thanking it as well. because I have faith, utter faith, full trust that it is going to empower me and heal me and help uplift me and encourage me to keep on giving jazz hands and delivering jokes in this fantastic times, right? So it's about how we choose to hold on to certain rumors and certain information. And I know we can get stuck at the point of just being poisonous. I know we can just get stuck at, God, everything's just to get us. And this feels shit, all right? Like, this just feels really like, well, what's the point? What is the point having children to come into this world and blah, 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 right? We can get really despondent. And I find those people who hang on to that mindset of victim and worried and vulnerable and all of this sort of stuff, for some reason, they just want to hold on to that, right? So then they will find the influencers who are also saying, oh yeah, 5G's eating your brains out, and you really need to buy all these expensive things that I just happen to sell, and so you're buying these mindsets of protection, and ironically, you've always got it within you. You've always been able to protect yourself, always, because you know and trust that I've got a safe, healthy body because I make great choices to have a safe and healthy body. And even if I slip and sort of, have something that is not the most healthiest choices, I still know that with my mindset projecting health and love to my body and respecting all the organs that will be working extra hard to flush out that donut or whatever, the body's got you. But when you haven't done enough of your own inner work and you sort of hate your body and disrespect your body and treat it like a trash vehicle, that trash vehicle is going to step up to your value. And so if it needs to step down to match your lack of self-worth, that's when the body's going to start giving up on itself, start going to give up on you, because it's trying to say to you often, love me, support me, move me, protect me, nourish me, and a whole lot of other stuff. And so, we've got to be, we've got to be doing so much when we are here, being responsible for ourselves, to be of service for all. And those people that I see who are constantly just seeking more new rumors to be afraid with, it's like they don't have enough things to panic about and worry about. So they will go to these low vibrational influencers who are constantly spelling and selling them nonsense of fear. And they may sound a little bit sort of uplifting and all that jazz, may say some really great, interesting words that sound really progressive, but their common denominator theme is that you're on a slave planet. They won't talk about that you've chose your life contracts. They won't talk about the implications of all the other lifetimes you've ever lived squished into this one significant, and what we keep hearing, final life on this earth. So when the guides are talking about this earth, are they talking about, and are we channeling Gaia and being on her journey through all of her different ways of physical expressions? Or are they talking about this physical earth? There's a huge difference. And so when you channel and you get this sense of the information that they're saying, are they talking about the taxi, or are they talking about the taxi driver? Are you going to go and have more experiences in that taxi, or are you going to come out with that taxi driver, go home with them, have a fantastic meal, and be Facebook friends? There's a huge difference between what that is. And when you are channeling, and usually it's quite sort of fast and there's so much other senses going on, just like how I know I have misspoken and said earth when I have meant humans and beings on earth. And I know that when I have talked about humans, I was meaning to say like all species. And so when I listen back to even my conscious mind conversations where I'm just misspeaking some stuff that kind of irritates me, because it's like, oh, I just needed to slow down and to really hear what I was saying. But it's like when I start these videos, I feel like I'm sort of opening myself up to lots of messages, and I feel like this big pressure rush to get so much information out that I sort of feel like I don't even know if what I was starting to say actually came out properly and I had that full conclusion, because I'm feeling overwhelmed with so much messages of like love and support and encouragement and pointing fingers at you and saying your teams are here, and they're saying we fucking love you and you are amazing and we just are so proud of you. Keep going. Do not get stuck in rumors and disinformation. Check your own lives. Check what's really happening in your world. Are you drinking this thinking it's going to kill you and it's poisonous? Are you breathing with fear that it could be chemtrails or something else, or 5G is just eating you up while you're sitting in the comfort of your home? What are you still holding on to that is a rumor that you think you're vulnerable to? Face your fears, be truthful to yourself, and check, what are you still doing that you're afraid could harm you or hurt you? Because you have to have faith and trust in your physical body, and faith and trust in your guides who are right there watching you. Like, look at the arm. Look at that arm just checking us out, right? Like, it can see everything. So it's about really checking our rumors that we've heard. And while some big influencers sound pretty sure about themselves and the information, it is their information, and what is their agenda to tell you information like that makes you interfere, that makes you feel vulnerable? Are they reminding you that you're super protected? Are they reminding you that you've got a whole team of collective soul family who are in different realms supporting you energetically to move forward? And you have to remember the bigger picture to be able to find that balance and peace, and not just play in the disinformation and the details. Some of the rumors are true, but when we keep manifesting, this water is poisoning me, it's killing me, I'm so unhealthy, I'm dying, is quite a different mindset from I am trusting and I know that this is loving me. Actually, I'm going to check, am I going to drink this, and how do I feel afterwards? I know the rumors, but actually, how do I feel? How do I truly feel about this water? I'm not dying. I'm actually, feeling better, more clarity. The more I drink water during the day, the more I feel, really uplifted, and I feel like it does ground me and a whole lot of stuff. Especially when I get lots of high frequency waves of energy coming through me. When I'm doing sessions with clients and they are high frequency vibrations, because I am supporting them with this session in terms of just loving them and being here for them, you sort of do raise your frequency vibrations to be able to focus on the most appropriate questions and not to freak out into fear. Oh my God, she's a witch and they're gonna kill her, fuckers. We can't lose our cool. So we've got to really be in a more mature state and just process logically how to best navigate through the sessions versus run away from them then, when they're exploring another lifetime. So got to be mature about it. So I really want you all to think about your routines and habits and behaviors of what you're still holding on to that is rumors, that is kind of keeping you safe. I know lots of people have bought trinkets and items and, safe bits and pieces. But are they? I mean, are you just using your mind to just trust, I've got that thing, really expensive, so it has to be real. I've heard lots of times. And so when we ask the subconscious about that really expensive item that super protected them, the subconscious will say, well, because they have this belief in that item, they are having more courage to be relaxed knowing that they're protected. And I say, but do they really need this? And the subconscious says, no, no, you're born butt naked. And, and that's exactly all the tool sets you need. We are the emperor's new clothing. Actually, those items that we buy are the emperor's new clothing. Now I get it. Okay, cool. It's a Sunday. So fun times. I think when you fully love your body, fully love yourself, trust your body is trust yourself, and you've done all of the inner work to empower yourself, you suddenly realize that these sort of trinkets are cute and beautiful and all, but it was never about them. It was always you. You've got the power. You've got the choices to have the positive mindsets to hold on to poisonous water, or hold on to high frequency vibrational water that has been loved and blessed by many. Jesus wants to come in again and say, he used water really well. And, he uplifted it so high frequency that that's what they would call sort of Jesus juice, or, wine. He'd make wine out of it, because it was just, we're so capable. And this is what he keeps saying. This was his perspective on his friends and the people that loved him and knew him. He respected them so much to see their full potential. He treated them like that. It was their own doubts and worries and distractions that they didn't step up to their own potentials. And that's not a failure as a lifetime. That's just experiences to remember how hard it is when we choose to use our free will to disempower ourselves continually. Don't love ourselves and see how amazing we are. And when we're full of self-doubt, when we're full of judgment and limited perspectives, life can be definitely hard. And so it's about just clearing out the clutter of the rumors that we have and hold on to in our lives, to see if there is something that really doesn't serve us. Lots of people who talk to me about their journey following certain influences, and when they said that they love them and that they'd watch them, and then they'd get this really heavy anxiety feeling after listening to them, and they didn't recognize that was the connection, was that there was, it all sounded fluffy and wonderful and uplifting, but there was so much underlining disempowerment and information that just was not aligning to their own collective's truth, that it made them sort of didn't recognize and realize that these two feelings were linked in. So it's interesting. It's really interesting what we do for ourselves, and we're fully responsible. So use your free will as you want to, whatever does and helps you be the most uplifted and the most empowered, remembering it's your mindsets that are fully in control of your reality, whether it is poison or whether it is uplifting value of high frequency liquid. So it's significant. I just want to say that the 15-minute white light meditation that they constantly talk about in sessions is getting more and more access to people. More people are getting more access to really high frequency than ever before, and it sort of seems like they've acclimated themselves up to this experience, and so when they go into it, they instantly drop in any relaxation. Sorry, instantly drop all tensions to have deep relaxation. See what I mean about fumbling? Anyway, so people who have been used to this for so long now, they're going into a very deep state of relaxation quite quickly. And then, that's when they are opening up the energy fields. And so for that full sort of 15 minutes, that high frequency vibrations, super electric-y and just jazz handsing with joy, with energy, and they are just pulling it in and out, and they are just opening themselves up to it while allowing themselves to have some time out of their busy days to do this. And it's incredible. When I've been hearing people talk about how they started off, I'd fall asleep, I couldn't handle it, I just fell asleep listening to that. It must be shit, they say. choices. And so, you know, but then they kept on going. They're realizing that this is quite a powerful access tool to really high frequency that they are very accustomed to, but they just need extra support to be able to get it to be connected in. And so, well, many people are like at their office job, oh yeah, I'm relaxed, my mind's fine. You know, that's one layer of it, but actually doing it and really surrendering into it and really using it to your advantage point. People who are trying to sell their homes, if you put your home in there and cleanse out and clear out all the energy field, fantastic, right? People, you know, who are still struggling, who are in fear, who are in pain, think about all their other lifetimes. Well, we can't do things that are going to breach their life contracts and their free will and stuff. The collectives are allowing us to do a lot more than we think we could be able to do when it has the right integrity and it has the right intention. And so when we are at this 3D realm sending love, it is going to sort of hit our target market, right? Of just loving and really empowering each other. And it is amazing how powerful we are. And yet we sort of rely on our collectives. Couldn't you do this shit? Because, you know, we're busy distracting ourselves with like gossip and rumors. And you know their answer is firm. But this is what our skill sets are. This is why we're supposed to be the way showers, the light bearers, whatever you want to call yourselves, right? And so it's really significant, the profound reactions and results that people are noticing within their family once they bring them into that healing space, that very sacred space. So, you know, this is work, isn't it? We have to take the time, we have to put in the right intentions and integrity to be able to be of service. And, you know, it's a powerful thing when we are setting and bringing in huge energy and empowering people and closing people and supporting people with love in that frequency here on earth. I can't, you know, it's quite amazing. And, you know, it's, you will feel into it, you will know it, and you will see the results. So I love it when people sort of have doubt with what I'm saying, and then they'll try it out and whoa, you know, shocker, you know, it actually works for them. But if they're looking for it, if you are thinking, I'm going to do this, but it's not going to work, she's full of shit. You know, that's the integrity and intentions you're actually setting. So, you know, don't waste your time. It's just like with water. If you're just going to think, well, this crazy New Zealander keeps saying it's high frequency vibrations, but all I can taste is, you know, poison. See what you're doing to yourselves, and it's got nothing to do with me, really. It's all about what you perceive and what you want to experience and invite into your bodies, into your mindsets, and all that sort of stuff. So I'm just sharing with you how I have heard and experienced many people truly empowering themselves. So, you know, it's not for everyone. Not everyone wants to grow, and that is fine. You know, that's got nothing to do with me, really. All I'm trying to share is what I have found personally from being a very worried, scared person. When Dolores Cannon comes in and says, "Oh yeah, yeah, it's interesting times for your bodies and all that sort of stuff." But the reason why she sort of did say the truth of everything is, you know, not empowering our bodies anymore, is that, you know, she wanted just to remind me how very much capable we are of, you know, ignorance is bliss in this kind of situation, right? You know, she was hearing about how the when you eat products of meat, it was lowering your frequency vibrations. And for some people, it definitely is true because they're already worried in small details anyway. So they're just adding on to it. And they know this animal that I'm eating probably had a terrible life and, you know, was brutally killed, and I'm eating it and I'm not even really enjoying it because I've overcooked it, and this is not my favorite plate, and blah, 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 right? Like those kind of mindsets of people are definitely going to find, you know, everything that they consume and eat and expose themselves to, you know, more of a problem for them because they are just that, have that negativity. And, you know, they just have got that glasses fully empty vibe versus, you know, optimism and positivity and trust and faith. So, you know, it's very interesting what people want to believe in. and hold, because they haven't sort of dug into their own inner work of what's really struggling for them and what they're really challenged with emotionally, mentally, physically. This is again why the people who have got the ease and grace and joy of inner peace at the moment is because they've done a lot of inner work to face their fears and to have a connection and a relationship with your spiritual teams, your guides, is profound, but that takes a journey as well, to trust that you're not going crazy with all of your amazing senses and imaginary friends, right? So, it is hard. It definitely is hard when we still want to hold on to fear and distrust and disbalance of everything in the world. So this is why they wanted me to say, this is why many of you are still holding on to disinformation from other influencers, is because you don't know your own truth. You can't even trust yourselves. And you've been so distracted with following the emperor. And what the emperor has been selling you is something that is no longer serving you. And while you're seeing everyone else celebrate and worship and support the king, you are not celebrating your own thoughts. You're not celebrating your own intuition. And you're not celebrating physically what you're actually seeing. You're not seeing, your lives are not in war zones, and yet some of you are acting like you are in a war, and that your life is not in a prison, and yet you're actually acting as if you're in a prison. Like, how are you really responding to your lives in the reality of what your actual lives really honestly look like? I know we can feel trapped. I know we can feel abandoned. I know we can feel all of those range of emotions. And I'm not saying don't honor those emotions. Definitely explore them and unpack them. But your emotions to being here of service on this planet, when you know that you're not really from home, from here, you're from somewhere else, and yet you're in this human life, and you're sort of feeling hard done by, you're probably thinking, well, I must have been a real butthole in another lifetime to land here. This obviously is, punishment planet. And it's not. It's a school. It's a learning. It's a community project of many collectives working together, hand in hand. And we're supposed to be loving each other, as we are wanting to encourage everyone to work together to love each other. And how do people love each other? By leading examples, by loving them first, encouraging them first, inviting them first, being there for them first, to show them, to lead them, to guide them to being able to stand up for themselves, and to have courage and faith that they can be loved and they are loving, and all that fantastic stuff. So, if we're still worried about, the state of the world, and we can't remember the shift, New Earth, and a whole lot of other stuff, we're going to get super fixated on the small details of why we've had to have our bodies upgraded so many times, and why our collectives have had to step in so many times to change certain things in our bodies and in our world to be able to keep us alive. So, when we feel like vulnerable victims, that, things are poisonous to us, and we focus on that, we're going to manifest a lot of shit for ourselves. I give my trust to myself and my teams, because I know that I have a life contract here to be of service. And I know that everyone here is very important. And our teams are working their butts off behind us to really get us to be where we're supposed to be. 100%. It would be stupid to think that, they've just given up on us and they're not here for us, and, they turned our backs on us. That kind of mental thinking and processing and assumptions, that gossip and rumors that they're not here for us, they're not doing anything for us, that's the kind of people that are, sulking in the garden and feeling really sorry for themselves because of their choices of mindsets and their choices of how to perceive the world, and to feel vulnerable. And so, yeah, they're definitely going to get sick. 100% they're going to get sick, and, it's fantastic. They want to get sick because they want to show the world, look at me. I'm sick because this is a poisonous planet. Feel sorry for me. I'm a special unicorn victim. They needing attention. They really need attention from themselves to really empower themselves to see what they're doing, what they're manifesting, what they're calling into themselves, and their belief systems of being on a poisonous planet and a slave planet. They get really sick quite quickly, and they will blame the poison versus blaming their own mindsets and their own way of life and their attitudes and all that sort of stuff, right? It's kind of interesting because those sleepy rocks that are completely oblivious to their grand awakening and hidden agendas and stuff, usually they're going fine. They actually aren't that sick. They're actually just going with the routines of it, and they're just, ignorance is bliss, right? They seem to be quite uninfected, like they're not impacted as much, not infected as much in general. And so, but it's these people that are sort of half awake who kind of know about certain crimes against humanity and just fall completely into victim. And they are only seeking out that level of confirming your victims. This is terrible. This is a slave planet, blah, 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 blah. And they're constantly being sold. Be afraid of connecting into your teams. You have to do ceremonies and protect yourselves because you can't just assume you're instantly connected in. You've got to buy my CDs and do my connection ceremony and have my drugs and blah, 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 to get a connection to your subconscious. When, they've told us constantly we're always connected. There is nothing that is needed. There is no tools to connect the arm to the hand, and they keep referring us to the hand. And it's, you all know this, I know this. And so when we see people that constantly are saying that the 5G is getting them and the chemtrails are blah 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 blah, and that's just them half awakening up. And we were scared when we just started hearing about this stuff, and it seemed like a lot of people were talking about this stuff, so it must be true. And then it's really interesting, and there is that leap of dropping all of that details of the fear and developing more a faith and trust of our teams, our guides, our life purpose here. And we were not brought here just to suffer at all. No one was really. It was about experiences, and I guess you could define certain people's experiences as just suffering, but we can't judge what the soul wanted in their life contracts. Even though we hope for everyone to have fantastic lives that are easy, those fantastic lives that are easy may have already been done before in other lifetimes. This now has got some real significance and value of the lessons that they want to experience and overcome and all that stuff. So anyway, perspectives. So sending you lots of love and encouragement to believe your water is loved, believe that your teams love you, and to believe that you're here for a very significant purpose. Can't be any other rumor truth for that apart from you being special and amazing. So anyway, have a fantastic day, guys. Love you heaps and heaps and heaps.